Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Apollonia and I'm coming to you from Moscow, Russia. And today I have a new guest. This guest is taking Russia by storm. I would say like this is the most famous Australian in Russia now. So welcome and please introduce yourself.
Thank you, yes. So my name is Russell and my YouTube channel is called Traveling with Russell. I think it's kind of almost a trending word now at the moment.
I know, in Moscow, yeah, of course. I think in Russia in general, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I was recently on local television in Russia on the weekend on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then I was on another show a few days earlier, so...
So tell people a little bit of your channel, what do you do?
Okay, so yeah, Traveling with Russell. Okay, so at the moment I'm really limiting my videos to Moscow and Moscow Oblast or Moscow region. I'm not really traveling as such, apart from...
But still it's traveling, because
you're
on the move.
Yeah, my videos have found a little bit of a niche, showing shopping centers, supermarkets. I went to a furniture store, I went to car dealerships. So yeah, the channel's a little bit more about typical life and what you would see.
Yeah, so in short, like if you want to know much about Russian shops and supermarkets and all that kind of stuff and what is happening, especially during these sanctions, this is your guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Russell, where do you come from?
So I'm actually from Perth, Australia. Now, the one thing that you might pick up on the videos is my accent isn't very Australian.
I think so. I think it's very Australian.
Yeah. It's not strong, but it's mostly because of the way that
I've not had mate in a while.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so yeah, it's because probably I'm doing a lot of the talking on the camera, and I'm hoping that people who maybe not know English as a language, first language, can understand a little bit of what I'm saying. So, when did you come to Moscow? So I came to Moscow originally 9 years ago. My first time that I visited Moscow. I've traveled back and forward to America for work, back to Australia for work. During the COVID lockdowns, I went back there. And then now I've been here full time, let's say, for just over a year now. Yeah, so there's so many countries in the world. Why Russia? Like, how? What brought you here? What brought me here was love. I fell in love with a Russian lady, so I married here in Russia. So yeah.
That's awesome. How did you meet? A little bit brief of how you met.
Okay. So this is really the brief version is I was on holiday in Thailand I was working on cruise ships for quite a lot of years, and between contracts I was going on holiday to Bali, to Thailand, and I went to a bar one night, to a karaoke bar, and with a friend that I met there, and I met my wife, well, what would be my wife back then, in the same bar, a few drinks, some singing up on stage, and here we are.
Wow, that's awesome. Actually, I thought you met online or something.
No, that's the very typical Russian bride dating websites you're thinking of. But I did the opposite of the.
Even I've seen like guys coming here to look for wives or something.
Yeah,
that's amazing. And actually, people don't think of meeting a wife in a club, actually. Right,
yeah, there's agencies that do that as well here, where there's...
Organized.
They bring you over here, you go to meet and greets with girls or ladies, and there is a little bit of a tourism element to it, but to meet their future wife or girlfriend or whatever they're going to do, so...
Wow, that is awesome, like... Oh my god! Seriously, if you would ask me, I would say online, but just meeting actually in a different country
as well. I
think that's like the best or something.
It's not really the story that you were thinking was the answer, right? It's very different.
Okay, so what was the first time you were here? Like when you traveled here?
So
when was that?
That was 9 years ago before now. So I don't know the year exactly, but.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Like your impression when you landed in Moscow for the first time.
Yes.
Russia.
So yeah, my wife. Well, at the time, I guess it was my girlfriend or however we called each other then. But she invited me to come 6 months after we first met.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was a little bit hesitant, a little bit scared. I you know, especially coming from Perth, which has got a population of less than 2 million, and coming to Moscow, which is
like,
15, 17 million.
16, somewhere there.
Yeah, like documented and undocumented varies a bit, but imagine coming to 16 million population city, you know, and the amount of cars, traffic, people, and people on the subways.
Yeah, what time did you come? Around winter or
Yeah,
summer?
the first time, it was leading into winter, so it was...
How was the cold compared to Australia? I think in Australia there's winters, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's very mild. It's
Really?
very...
There's no snow? What?
No, not in Perth. We're considered a Mediterranean climate.
Wow.
So winter nighttime temperatures maybe 3-5 Celsius. Daytime winter temperatures maybe the coldest might be 10 Celsius, 15 Celsius.
Oh my god,
in
that's
winter.
not winter.
No.
Compared to this one. So, have you gotten used to this weather?
Yeah, I've actually, when I came last year over here leading into summertime, I was okay when I first got here, but then when summer came, the summers here are warm, but in Australia they're really warm or hot, you know.
Humid
not humid, no, more like a dry sort of heat. So actually I struggled this year with the summertime, and it was only 28 or 30 degrees, and I was struggling. And in Australia we get 40, and I'm fine.
Really?
So yeah, I think just that.
That's weird.
Russia has the true 4 seasons, and that's where you've got to adapt to that really cold winter,
really
warm summer. You know, there's an extreme that you've got to get used to.
So overall, what do you love about Moscow? Like, what is one thing or two that you like?
Moscow,
I love this about Moscow.
I think from the videos that I make, I tend to do different trips around Moscow region, and you know, you're looking at maybe an hour away, 2 hours from where I live. And the fact that I can come to a different metro station or train station, and it's like a whole new place, and we're still in Moscow. Like coming to where we are today.
Very quickly, like in an hour, you can actually travel. I don't know.
Right? Yeah, the metro is very efficient. There's a lot of trains, a lot of buses.
Yeah. So transportation is like one of your favorite.
Yeah.
Efficient.
My dad was a bus driver most of his life.
Yeah.
So I grew up catching buses, riding buses. So it's second nature for me. Yeah, I'd say, what do I love? I mean, it's hard to say what you love about a big city with a big population, but just...
Like, I think I was saying this in comparison to where you come from. Like, what is something that just, you know...
I just think the amount of...
Makes Moscow or Russia kind of different.
I think just the amount of new places you can discover every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I could literally go somewhere new in Moscow region every day and have not been there before.
Yeah.
And I can still be amazed, like when we walked here, you know, like two new shopping centers, and when we met, there was another shopping center, and it was 5 minutes away, and yeah, that's what I like based on what I'm doing on my channel too. It just it excites me. Like, I know shopping centers may not excite everybody, but for me it does, you know, and supermarkets.
But I think also it depends because you worked also in that line too.
Right? Yeah. Before coming to Moscow, I was in Australia for a year and a half during COVID. I was working in supermarkets full time in different branded supermarkets. And before that, I was in retail on cruise ships, duty-free shops.
Yeah. In cruise?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, maybe we didn't talk about it before.
God, no. I think there's some videos I watched from you, the earlier ones. You were talking about cruises and whatever.
Right, yeah. I was working on cruise ships for close to 20 years. You do contracts, so you work on for 4, 6 months, 8 months, and you come home for 2-3 months and go back again.
So you were working as what do you do?
In the duty-free shops, so alcohol, tobacco, chocolates, very similar to the airports. You know. When you,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that's okay. I thought maybe you traveled in cruise ship, but I didn't know
I was
that
working.
you worked.
Yeah, you travel on them, so there's always the funny joke about it that, you know, you'll get to see the world on a cruise ship.
Do you?
No, you do, but you're still working.
Is it like tight when it's really like when you make a stop?
Right, yeah, the home ports. So I was lucky because the shops are duty free. They can't trade when you're in the ports. So our off time was whenever we were docked in a city or a town.
Yeah.
And then we would open the shops when the ship goes to sea. Yeah. So I did get to see a lot of places, but maybe the average crew member on a ship is still working 10 hours per day, 7 days per week. So yeah, it's not all lucky for everybody on cruise ships.
Okay, given that you're married to a Russian woman and food with Russian women, oh my God, these women can cook. You guys, when I tell you, Russian women will really cook. Yeah, so do you like Russian food?
I don't like all Russian food. My wife is slowly becoming un-Russian.
Like
so she's
westernizing?
Cooking, yeah, westernizing. Yeah, so she's cooking more like meat and potatoes, vegetables, beef, pork, chicken.
Even like soups, like I hear everybody comes here like, oh my God, borscht is one of the best. No?
Yeah, she does cook soups. We have a lot of vegetable kind of soups, beef. Beef or chicken soups, especially now with all the weather.
Yeah.
To have the big pan of it.
Russians are crazy with soups. There's mushroom soup, there's green borscht. So for me, I had to learn because I have kids. I have to cook these soups and whatever.
Yeah, the soups.
So you don't like it, you don't have. Do you have a favorite? Like let's say the one that you can say. You know what? This one I can.
I like Olivia salad. Which is basically potato salad, essentially. My wife makes like a big, I don't know, a few kilos bowl of it, and I practically eat. I don't even put it in a separate bowl. Yeah, right, because it's potatoes, carrots,
vegetable
bologna.
peas, there's
bologna,
chicken and stuff. Wow, that's crazy. Like, I thought like you'd be like saying Russian food is.
When we go to friends' houses, we get invited.
Also
and then
you find food.
The table comes out, right, and then there's a lot of things that I know, but I don't like it. But I have to be polite to friends and family, and but they're slowly learning when I come over there. They make something just a little different for me, or more plain.
More, I don't know, steak and
or
potatoes.
Potatoes,
oh my God.
Vegetables, maybe pork, or like even the shashlik, the barbecue,
of course.
shish kebab, or.
No, I thought you were gonna say something like shashlik because everybody loves.
Oh
shashlik.
Yes, that's my. I think every Australian barbecue, Australia.
Yeah. Okay, do you have family back home?
Yep, yeah, so my parents are back in Australia. My mum and dad have been married, my gosh, I think they're 40 plus years.
Wow.
40, nearly 50 years, I'm going to give or take. I've got a sister. My sister is married with 3 boys.
Wow.
So yeah, I've got uncles. I've also got some relatives in England from my dad's side of the family. My mum's side is Polish originally, but most of them have kind of, my grandparents passed away. So, but I've got some very distant cousins in Poland, but maybe cool. 3rd or 4th cousins.
That's cool. And when you come to parents, especially and family back home, are they worried that you're still stuck here and not planning to go?
The word "stuck here" is very.
Because everybody, like, let's say, like my parents said, are you stuck? Are you okay? Like, they feel like, it's kind of like we are stuck.
Yeah, so I
think?
I think probably the COVID times we were really kind of stuck where they closed borders. They limited travel, limited the availability to cross borders. When everything kind of changed here back in February, I guess, there was kind of that conversation with my wife. March, April, we had that conversation with each other. My wife, by the way, has Australian residency, so we could both.
Has she been there already?
Yep, twice.
Whoa!
Yeah,
really?
Twice already. Yeah. So.
Was it that easy for her to get a residency?
No. No.
I've heard some people saying like getting Australian document is kind of easier compared to other.
Everything is online. So it's easier for the application process. The required documents. My wife came on a partner visa, which is ultimately leads to residency. And Australia basically judges the visa application on the relationship. So before we applied, we'd been together 7 years. So we had 7 years of evidence of our relationship. They even want you to write a relationship statement. So you both write one separately. about how you met, how you're living together, future plans.
So you have to like be married.
No, you can not
Just
be
living
married.
together.
Yep, yeah, you can still have a relationship that isn't living together, but the government, in terms of the partner visa, the future of you together, is reliant on the relationship,
Okay.
not just the, I will arrive in Australia, we'll buy a house, we'll live together. They may not necessarily believe that. So the relationship statements, and then you even get statements from friends and family
Wow, that's
that
cool.
write like a statutory declaration
yeah.
about the relationship.
We know you and
right,
we know-
yeah, right. So we got friends and family to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that process is not easy.
Wow, I can imagine. So in general, they're not worried. Or have you told them like you're okay, or they?
Yeah, my
like,
parents.
Get out
Yes.
of there.
So yeah, my mum and dad. I video call with them probably once a week. Probably not. Not. I should call them a lot more. I know they watch my videos, so I guess they're living through me from watching my videos on the channel. But my mum, when we came, when we came last year here, obviously this situation hadn't occurred.
Yeah.
So they know that I've been here a lot of years, and I know the place, and I'm comfortable living here. I feel safe living here. I mean, they've never, in this last 9 months, they've never told me to come home.
Yeah.
They've never told me to leave.
So they're not worried about it. They are fine.
No, I think they just know that I'm okay here. You know what I mean? I'm not the first time off the plane here. I've not been here for a couple of months, and I've never been here before. You know, there was a lot of people who, let's say the word, ran away or left in a hurry, right, when this all happened.
My parents would be like, "Where do you think you're going? Stay there.
Don't come home.
Stay there. It's better there." That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that's another thing at the moment, that there's a little bit of the word sanctions may come up in conversation, and there's a little bit of this reverse sanctions where there's a bigger effect on other countries' economies more than Russia's economy.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, and prices of electricity and heating's gone up, fuel's gone up, availability of products has become less. And there's in America, for instance, the government is putting the blame on the increase in the worsening of the U.S. economy, but they're blaming Mr. Putin, Mr. P.
This government
And
definitely.
they're not necessarily blaming their own government for mishandling the
No, they have
economy.
a victim to put
so,
stuff on.
and it's really amazing, like, they're on the other side of the world, yet they're blaming...
Where they need to fix their own stuff.
Right,
But
close to home, yes. Yeah, the economy, the social housing, unemployment, healthcare.
Yeah. So at that point, in this political situation, has it affected you, like your family life, like your,
Between my wife and I mean, we don't watch a lot of Russian television. We don't watch a lot of Russian news. Obviously, there's a little bit of you could say there's a bias because of the fact that most of the TV stations are state-controlled or government-controlled channels. Excuse me. Between social media and online, Telegram. I mean, we've got access to all the news we possibly want. So, we can see what's happening. And it's...
there's nothing much you can actually do from your house.
Right.
First of all.
Yeah.
So, like, in terms of, like, let's say, like... losing social media, like whatever, has it affected you or the YouTube channel, like you say?
No, yeah, that's the one thing, that's one of the things that they haven't blocked, if you like. There are a few of the other social media. I don't tend to use a lot of the other ones, like the photo
Just
applications. Photo applications.
Or editing.
Yeah.
Some video editing softwares are not, you can't even pay.
Right, yeah, because they've you can't use Russian credit cards outside of Russia. So things like for thumbnails, I'm using Canva.
Yeah.
So you can't pay for the subscription for Canva.
Yeah, you can't pay. And without VPN, you can't
Right,
use it.
yeah, so it's a bit of a flow on. My wife, for instance, had Spotify. We didn't have Netflix or anything like that. But there's enough Russian versions here that we can get around. We can negate a lot of the things that are not available to us.
Yeah, okay. Sometimes people say, bad times actually can create good things in life. Would you say that Russian sanctions have actually improved your life?
This is a very difficult question.
Because let's listen.
Oh.
There's two types of people. There are people who wake up and do something when there's crisis. There are people who close themselves inside and cry when there's crisis.
Right.
So,
yeah. No, I agree with that.
in
Right.
terms of that.
I mean, for me, the only thing that's literally like and subscribe to the channel as well, right? Maybe
Yeah.
some of the new viewers watching
Yeah.
aren't subscribed, so if you
Yeah.
want to check out some of your other videos,
Yeah.
your family.
There's so much there, by the way. I have so many videos.
You're like an onion to peel back
I'm
the
everywhere.
onion, right?
I'm doing everything. Okay, thank you so much, guys, and paka paka.
Bye.